And last month, they generated 1,900 brokers' opinion of value. So basically what they're doing is they're using this tool, the marketing efficiency it unlocks, to actually do a high impact prospecting. So instead of, they're operating in a market, and instead of trying to call the owners and set up a meeting or something like that, instead of that, they just send them a full BOV for their property. Like, look, like this is what it looks top notch. It has the numbers. It has some photos, right? And by sending these BOVs to 2,000 owners in that market every month, they're actually sourcing tens of owners every month that are really hot leads and turning into clients.
Hi, Adam Gower here, founder of GowerCrowd.com and host of this podcast YouTube series, Real Estate Market Watch, Current Events Through a Real Estate Lens. Today's episode is another AI commercial real estate demo day. And my guest is Anton Zajac of IntellCRE.com. Anton has developed a platform that allows for two major uses. One is the creation of pitch decks, essentially. Pitch decks or deal memos, offering memos, from simply inputting an address and uploading a little bit of information that you currently have about the deal. And secondly, it is a platform for initial underwriting and screening of deals that you might be interested in. Really one of the highlights is that what Anton describes is that what they know usually takes 21 hours, I think that's the exact number they uses, now takes minutes to create incredible results. The episode today is definitely visual. We're going to do a screen share, and Anton walks through how to actually use the product, actually shows a demonstration. It's incredible how fast these very professional looking results are developed. So if you are listening, go ahead and listen, but ideally go to my YouTube channel, Gower Crowd. You could go to just search Gower Crowd or my name on YouTube. It should pop up pretty quickly. Please, when you're there, subscribe to the channel so you get alerts for future episodes of the show. And definitely watch it there. It's actually mind-blowing what this does. This is an example of how AI is being used to revolutionize the commercial real estate industry, period. So if all you're doing is using ChatGPT, watch this show, right? Okay, so I'll tell you what, you always have to have a call to action. My call to action in this case is subscribe to the YouTube channel. You really enjoy this presentation. It's short, sweet, extremely detailed, and will, if you're anything like me, blow your mind. All right, so without further ado, let's get on with it. Anton Zajac, who is founder, I think, and CEO at Intel, with two L's, CRE.com, coming right up now. Anton, super good to see you again. We met last year, I think, and we talked about IntellCRE. I know that you've been developing the company and it's been evolving quite extensively over the last 12 months. So let's start with some high-level questions, and then we will jump into a demo that I am actually looking forward to very much indeed. So why don't we start? Please introduce yourself, your company, and tell us what your product or website does.
Sure. So I'm the CEO of IntellCRE. We're an AI-powered platform that automates underwriting and deal marketing for commercial real estate. So our product helps sales and acquisition teams turn their deals into top quality marketing presentations in seconds, literally. That's in a nutshell.
Okay. And so you've preempted my second question, which is who is the product built for? But why don't you answer that question by telling me who are what characteristics do your super users have? Who's really finding value in this?
Yeah, so our users, or who this product is built for, are CRE commercial real estate investors, brokers, so real estate agents, but also other commercial real estate professionals who need to analyze and build presentations for many deals, meaning that they have a very solid deal flow. So this is the main characteristic or main characteristics of our super users, that they either for prospecting purpose, or for they serve a lot of clients. Basically, they have a lot of deals in their pipeline and they need to move very quickly. So these people are seeing the biggest efficiency gains with this solution.
Okay, and so what's the pain point that IntellCRE resolves?
So, in general, underwriting workflows and deal marketing workflows are slow, are very manual. They're fragmented across tools, and they're making it very hard to evaluate and act on many opportunities quickly and efficiently. So, the pain points that we're solving are all around the manual nature of these workflows and around how fragmented these workflows are.
Okay, so what are the data that you use that help support this kind of acceleration of process?
Well, there's data that is needed for an accurate underwriting. So this is market level data such as vacancies, rent growth trends, appreciation trends, things like that. There's also data to support the valuation for one's property, such as rent comps, in order to construct the cash flow several years forward. There's also sales comps to support the market value of a property. So this is all data that users can find within the platform. But there's also data that people need in order to create market overviews, such as nearby amenities, demographic report, traffic, foot count, and things like that. So this is all data that the platform provides.
And you're VC backed, aren't you, Anton?
Correct. Yeah.
So how are people solving the problem that you solve for them today? How are they doing it today without your product?
Well, they mostly rely on spreadsheets, templates, manual design tools, some legacy tools, but ultimately all these still take days to complete the job, such as, for instance, creating marketing assets for a deal. So they're doing most of the marketing workflow or their analysis workflow manually, and that's basically the alternative.
Okay, and so what is the single most valuable outcome that a user gets using IntellCRE?
Users can evaluate and build professional marketing for deals in a fraction of the time. So having set up their deal marketing machine with platform such as IntellCRE, they can use it for high impact prospecting across entire markets. So we're unlocking the possibility for a boutique team to actually output more BOVs or some other marketing for properties and send it across the entire market than an enterprise functioning in that market would, with their marketing teams and teams of analysts. So really leveling the playing field even for the boutique players.
So in terms of the CRE lifecycle, this is right at the beginning. This is early stage deal acquisition and analysis document function, is it?
It could be both. So, in terms of a BOV, when, for instance, an agent is preparing a broker opinion of value for a client, that buyer might want to sell, or maybe they're just thinking, or maybe they aren't in contact with them at all. This happens before they actually engage with the owner of not buyer, seller, potential seller of the property, right? So in this case, this is a very early stage in the deal lifecycle before there actually is a deal confirmed, right? But then later on, as the seller agrees to sell, then, for instance, that real estate agent is to build an OM or some marketing document in order to officially launch a listing. And in that case, they're using IntellCRE to build these OMs, right? Maybe a client asks the broker or the team to provide a report of all the deals that I've sold in the past, 12 months. In that case, it's somewhere else. But these marketing assets happen in various deal stages or in various stages of the CRE deal cycle.
And this is, we talk about CRE. What kind of CRE are we talking about? Is this for
Any?
Okay, so multifamily, industrial, cover all asset classes.
Yes. I mean, we could even say, residential, but for residential, the industry don't tend to, build like these, OMs or something like that, because it's more of a emotional sale than it is, a financial, let's look at the numbers type of sale, right?
Okay, and can you give me an example of a case study without being indiscreet about who? Just give us an example of somebody that's used the platform. What have they done? Like a concrete example, so we can understand.
Yeah. So we've. I want to keep this, in anonymity, but
of course,
a fairly large enterprise company approached us. They have been using a legacy provider, which is in a similar space than IntellCRE, and basically they had constant bottlenecks in their deal flow, because even though they had this marketer per team or two marketers per team, still it would take 21 hours was their baseline number, 21 hours to build a BOV or an OM. And so they were looking for a faster way to do this, to increase efficiency now that, AI is there and whatnot. And so we started a pilot with them. Within the first week, we agreed that this will be the highest priority KPI we will measure, time it takes their team to create these materials. 20 hours, 21 hours was baseline. Their target was, if we can get it in 12. After week 1, the time was 57 minutes, but there was, some like setting up, happening, and their people basically getting onboarded. Week 2, we were down to 37 minutes, and week 3 and above, we were around 10 minutes, to create, OM. So this is a very concrete case study of how this works compared to either the manual process or some of the legacy tools out there.
Amazing. Every single answer you give me preempts the next one. My next question. So thank you for doing that. Anyway,
well, so good questions then. Good flow of questions.
Actually, good answers. All right. So last 2 questions before we move into the demo. I am going to ask you what I think you just said, but what would convince a skeptical commercial real estate professional that this is actually useful?
Yeah, well, the way we like to do it is, let's do a POC, let's run a pilot, non-obligatory pilot. 4 weeks is all we need, even for a complex team or, office with several teams, 4 weeks is enough. Let's define what are the efficiency gains that you want to see? What are your baseline numbers? What are the targets that we have? We will report them on a weekly or on a daily basis. And if we blow your numbers completely out of water, let's work together. If we don't, let's not. So far, 100% success rate in this way. We believe that, if something is working, people should have a way of trying it and really confirming with objective, not just subjective bias, but really objective numbers, for the leadership, for the team leaders, like, is this implementation working or not, right? So.
Okay, so you've got me extremely excited to see this demo. What should viewers be watching for specifically during the demo that matters most to them? What do you want them to keep an eye on?
Yeah, so in order to keep this, sort of quick, we'll look at the marketing workflow in the platform. We're going to build some marketing presentation for a deal, and we should watch for, or we should track just how quickly we can get to a result that normally, would take days or if not weeks.
Oh my goodness. So. Okay, well, let's do it. Let's jump in without a moment's delay any further. I'm going to invite you to screen share, and I'm going to turn the whole thing over to you. And I may well jump in. I can't resist asking questions halfway through. You're going to have to forgive me for that. But whenever you're ready, go ahead and screen share. Here we go. Anton is now screen sharing. So I do recommend If you are listening to this podcast, go to YouTube, to the Gower Crowd YouTube channel, where you will see it. And Anton, if you don't mind, as you go through this, maybe just be slightly appreciative that some people may be listening, so be descriptive of what you've got. And I'll describe what I'm seeing right now. We've got a column on the left that says pipeline, and a map of the United States with some flags on it. Anton, over to you. What are we looking at, and where do we go from here?
So we just opened the app and we're looking at a pipeline. So basically all the deals that are in the lead stage or that are in progress, or deals that, are listed or we closed on. There is some basic deal management here. There is team collaboration here. There is sort of admin view here as well. And we're looking at the deals that we've inputted or uploaded in the system. There's several ways how we can get the deals in the system. We have, although I don't want to really derail from the main workflow, but we have solutions that we can put on one's website, and either whether it's a GP trying to source new opportunities, or whether it's an agent or a different use case, we can basically automatically source data from other people, or from the market, or from leads, and basically start preparing a deal in one's pipeline in the platform. So there is an automated way how we can get the deals in the pipeline. There's also a manual way how we can get deals in the pipeline, which is very simple. We would just click to add a new property. We would start with typing the address. And after we type in the address, the system's going to give us a prompt. What types of documents do we have that we want to upload? We don't need to upload any, but let's say we have a rent roll, either in a spreadsheet or a PDF form, or maybe we have the trailing 12-month statement, or maybe we have, maybe there's an OM for the deal. This is sort of the investor use case. There's an OM and we now want to analyze the deal. So we can upload the whole PDF OM here. Or for the top performing teams that have their in-house Excel models that they're using, we usually map their models, integrate their models with the platform, so they would just upload their entire Excel model, right? I'm just going to quickly show how easy this is, to upload, for instance, a rent roll. I just drag and drop it here. To upload a T12, I just drag and drop it into the expenses box. And just like that, the system has extracted the data. We click continue, and we can see that in the financial section, we already see the multifamily rent roll. In this case, it's a 10 unit property. So we see there's 10 units, we see the unit types, we see the square footage, we see the current rents. The system can give us predictions for the market rents or the pro forma rents at this property. So it's sort of on the back end already doing some pro forma market research for us. Same for expenses. So we are extracting the expenses from the document. We can, benchmark the expenses. We can use, other properties in that market we have operational data for, to help us benchmark whether this property is operating better than its neighbors or worse, or, whether there's any anomalies and things like that. But again, not to derail us from, getting to the marketing workflow, there's a whole analysis part of this product, which also makes it, special from some other marketing deal legacy tools, because you can actually also do the analysis here with the data. You have a very robust analysis part to this product. You can use the sales comparables in the system, as I mentioned, that we can source data from multifamily. You can look at what's in the market. You can use them to help you price the deal automatically and things like that. So there's a lot of advanced analysis tools that we can use here. We can set up targets, like return targets for deals, and we can see immediately, based on some pre-configured decision criteria, whether this deal is something we want to spend more time on, or whether it's not going to work for us. So people use this for deal screening. People use this to create professional, institutional grade, underwriting with the tool as well. But all of this is just to show you that just by typing in the address and uploading, the financials, we can create a deal in the system. And so this is sort of the manual way how these deals appear in the system. Now, the marketing workflow from here is extremely simple. So let's say I have a deal in the system. I've uploaded some photos for the deal, like this one, for instance, and I want to create an OM or a BOV for this deal. Meaning this is going to have the sales comps, the rent comps, the financials. It's going to have the market overview. It's going to show the location overview. It's going to show the demographics. It's going to show our identity, all of that, right? Usually the system, in the settings, you just upload your logos and you set up your brand identity. Our team helps you if you need any help, prepare, the templates for you, all of that. You can have any design quality you want. And once this is all done, I can simply go to marketing materials and I can click create brochure. And now the system I can choose from the pre-configured templates, or I can just create, a brand new one. And the system's going to pull all that information. So the financials, the photos, the description of the area, the highlights for the area. It's going to pull the demographic report for the area. It's going to pull, population by age for the area, all of that, and it's going to assemble that into this beautiful template with our logos, with our branding, with our identity. All of this is customizable. I'm just waiting here to show you that there's also a live preview that we can basically check, make any changes if we need to before we actually decide to. So here we are.
Oh my goodness, insane. Look at this thing.
Yes. So we have
this is incredible.
Yeah. So I'm just going to quickly walk through what's here, right? This is just an example of a OM, template. So we have the cover page with a beautiful property photo. We have the agents or the investors. We have the confidentiality agreement. Then we have a section about the property with the offering summary or executive summary for this deal. All the important numbers or metrics that we want to include. We have photos. We have the AI generated area overview here. So map with nearby amenities, walk scores, bike scores, all of that. Photos about the area or photos of the area. Then we have our financials, right? So we can be as detailed as we want, or maybe we can just choose whether we want to, present some projections, our assumptions, some hypothetical financing, some price scenarios, things like that. Like we can stress test the deal, doing all sorts of things. Then we have our sales comps, right, with charts, detailed sales comps, rent comps, the same thing. And then we have our AI-generated market overview, right? So we have our market overview for the city, in this case, San Diego, with the demographics, maps, employment rates, and things like that. And basically anything else. So we can add custom pages. We can configure the system to basically do whatever we want. But this is just a quick example. And once we're happy with this, we click create brochure. And within 35 seconds, the system's going to render this into a PDF that we can print out, send to investors using our campaign. At the same time as we're doing this, the system isn't just creating one marketing asset. It's creating a whole bundle of marketing assets at the same time. So as I was doing this, the system is creating a property website that looks something like this, that has the photos. It can have even a video here. I can, again, customize anything that's on the website, have various lead sourcing or lead capture mechanisms, have a virtual deal room attached to the website. All of this can be embedded on my website. We can even turn it into a listing platform or, any whatever the use case is. And of course, the best part is we can track the entire view analytics like Google Analytics for the website. So we can see the emails of the people that visited the website, and you can use them in your follow-up campaigns and things like that. So really, the possibilities of the marketing you can do here are unlimited. But let me go back to the brochure that we just generated and just quickly show you. So yeah, once the deal is in the system, meaning we uploaded financials and some photos, basically it's a 2-click exercise to generate any marketing asset like a brochure, OM, that you would want.
Wow, it's really beautiful. And you have different templates for these, I take it, right? This is
Yes.
a page
Yeah.
by page scroll kind of thing, but you could do a kind of an 8.5 by 11 PDF format as well, presumably.
Yes. You can just turn this into a flyer, just like that. I'm going to create a teaser or a property flyer. That's going to be slightly different. It's going to be like a 2-pager. And I guess to your question, the work we do for the teams, I don't want to present work that we've done for particular teams, but it's usually very custom. So like they have new branding guidelines, or maybe they just want to refresh their identity or come up with a unique template. We do all of that work. So, but of course, this is usually done for teams and companies, not so much for like individual that wants a brand new template. But yeah. So here's the flyer.
That's incredible how quickly you did this. I mean, it's really incredible, that thing.
Flyers take 9 seconds on average. Full brochures with high resolution pictures take 35 seconds.
And how long does it? How long? I mean, what's the actual process that somebody goes through to create these? They do them manually, do they?
Yeah. So it depends from team to team, but either they outsource this. So they actually have maybe a VA or maybe a dedicated third-party service that builds these for them. Usually it's a per brochure charge. Let's call it $1,000 for brochure. The turnaround time is week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. We have a lot of people or users that are complaining or have been complaining before start using our service, that they were losing listings and deals because of how long it took to turn around these materials. Then you might have teams that have in-house marketing personnel or teams, but still the turnaround is in days for these types of documents. So you can imagine, I mean, everybody can probably imagine how much efficiency gain we're talking about here, and the larger the organization, the bigger the scale at which you feel the impact of this efficiency. And for smaller teams or boutique teams that we serve, we see a marketing output that equals a marketing output of a smaller enterprise, really. Again, not giving names, but we have a team that they're crazy in a good sense. The team of 4, and last month they generated 1,900 brokers' opinion of value. So basically, what they're doing is they're using this tool, the marketing efficiency it unlocks, to actually do a high impact prospecting. So instead of, they're operating in a market, and instead of trying to call the owners and set up a meeting or something like that, instead of that, they just send them a full BOV for their property. Like, look, like this is what it looks top notch. It has the numbers. It has some photos, right? And by sending these BOVs to 2,000 owners in that market every month, they're actually sourcing tens of owners every month that are really hot leads and turning into clients. So like they're playing the numbers game that is unlocked by a tool like this, that hasn't been available before.
Anton, do me a favor. So we're back to the, it looks like the landing page when you log in.
Yes.
If you don't mind, I would like to see a little bit more about the detail, how you build this thing and how you put it together. There was one thing that you mentioned that piqued my interest. Well, there's a lot of things, actually. I've got a bunch of follow-up questions. But one of the things you said was stress test. You can stress test. What does that mean exactly? Can you just kind of walk us through what that looks like when somebody... And so these deals on the left-hand column, these are user-generated opportunities. And they can generate these on your platform, can they? Or do they need to bring those in separately?
Yes. So that's what I was mentioning in the beginning, that we have various other mechanisms or solutions. Like if you look at this brokerage website here, on the bottom left, it says, check my property value. You see that here?
Yeah. So this is
And so
for those
it's a widget.
listening. This is a Lee and Associates multifamily landing page. Here it's their website, and there's a little link at the bottom that says "Check my property value." All right, go ahead, Anton.
Yes, it's a website widget. It's a custom widget that we put on their website.
Oh,
And then basically anybody that comes to their website, if they're interested in knowing the value of their property, they can just click here, check my property value. Now, it takes them to through a guided, very simple guided process where they just upload wherever they have. They provide, I mean, this is customizable per use case. So like if they want to capture their intent, they can. If they want to make some information mandatory, some optional, they can. Long story short, they provide the data for the deal that the system processes automatically, and then it actually puts that deal in your deal pipeline in a part of the pipeline that's called deal box, which is like your inbox for deals that you source in this way, right? And so this removes the usual friction around either people that just want to get a valuation for their property and are not going to call you and start, engage in these lengthy, emails and calls and things like that.
well, it's more like lead gen. At this point, it's lead gen, right? So you've got a simple widget. Yeah.
This is a lead gen, but it can also be used simply to streamline the property data exchange once you are actually talking to an owner that is interested in either getting the valuation or maybe selling. Because instead of like, hey, connect me to your property management company so that I can tell them to export your latest T12 from some property management platform and then provide it to, instead of this Bermuda triangle of emails and calls, and, you can just send the owner or whoever that is the Dealbox link. You don't need to have a widget on your website. It also works as a link, and you just send them the link and just follow the instructions. And once they do provide all the information that's needed, the system extracts that, and you get a notification. Other people in your team get a notification, that there is a deal in your deal box, and the platform processes that deal, and then you're a few clicks away from turning it into a BOV and then sending them, back to the client.
So you mentioned stress testing. Is that something? What is that actually? That was an interesting page that we were looking at with all the inputs, I think. On the right-hand side,
we can open financial analysis for any deal, like this last one. You can have multiple scenarios. You can have hundreds of scenarios, and you can use some of the advanced tools here to. Just quick suggest rent comms here. Advanced tools for financial modeling of this deal. So, for instance, let me advanced metrics. Okay, so let me open sensitivity analysis. It's going to be down here.
Okay, so I saw exit cap rate. There was a couple things I saw pop up.
Yes. So now the system will calculate several different options for the exit cap rate, right? So it's doing the sensitivity analysis with respect to the exit cap rate. So
and you can adjust that exit. You can adjust that. Okay, there you go. You can adjust.
Of course. In fact, you can use our own algorithms or some other algorithms to calculate the exit cap rate. But you see that you have 7 steps here. 7 different versions, 7 different scenarios. The scenario that we have in this underwriting is 3.2.
A little bit out of date, maybe, yeah.
Yes, and you see the equity multiple resulting from this is only going to be
it's a loss. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, and so, but we see as we go lower with the exit cap rate, suddenly we're getting into some better.
But you can adjust that. You can adjust that. Exit cap projection. So you've got,
of course, you can just change it. Yes,
you just edit that, and it changes the entire scenario. Does it? The entire range. Fascinating.
Yeah. So you can basically integrate different sensitivity analysis mechanisms or predictions here, and you can basically see the confidence levels of, where this deal might end up, 5 years, 10 years down the road, whether it's going to make sense for us or not, and things like that.
Anton, when you and I spoke the other day in prep for today, you talked about underwriting versus marketing. So is this more an underwriting tool, or is it more a marketing tool? How are people using it, and where are the strengths, do you think, of IntellCRE in that context?
They're using it for both workflows, both analysis or underwriting, as well as marketing. I guess it depends on the persona. So if you are a boutique team, or maybe just an individual, or really small, company, and your biggest bottlenecks when it comes to your deal flow are coming from underwriting, then you use this for underwriting. If, on the other hand, you have a pretty good, analyst that can handle the deal flow that you have, using their in-house model or whatever, but you have bottlenecks when it comes to marketing, then you're using this for the marketing workflow.
Okay. And just tell me again, what are the inputs? I mean, this is kind of mind-blowing, but you've got pipelines of data flowing into this to be able to consolidate all this information so quickly. What are the kinds of inputs that you're using here that users might otherwise access individually, one at a time, in order to be able to build a BOV or a marketing document or do underwriting that takes them 21 hours instead of 21 minutes? What are the inputs? Like what pipelines are coming in here that people would otherwise use?
Well, there's rent comps, right? Data on the pro forma rent. There's sales comps, so similar properties that.
And these comps are from third party. These are third party inputs, right? They're not, or are they generated by your data?
We have some proprietary data, but the base layer of data for sales comps, for instance, is the assessor's data. We license directly from our title companies, and companies that aggregate data from title companies.
Okay. So what's actually the learning? So these are going to be out of order now. I'm just going to go through. I can see you've done your demo. Is there anything else you want to show us actually before I go to some final questions?
No. There's a lot of different workflows that people have on the platform. The main one being the automated deal marketing for teams where that is the number one priority. They have their own in-house models that they like to use. They like to keep their workflow in their their underwriting workflow in Excel. And there's also teams that prefer to ditch the spreadsheets and basically transfer to the underwriting workflow on the platform. Those teams also leverage the deal marketing. It's just that the underwriting product is also relevant to them. So yeah, like these are the basic workflows. There's other solutions, but I would encourage anybody who's interested, who has a problem around any real estate workflow that they have, to just talk to us. We love to solve problems, even new problems, So yeah.
So the other thing that you mentioned that's fascinating is that you can see emails. So when somebody looks at one of these documents online, the flip, I think you call it a flip book or a PDF, or they go to the landing page for a deal that a client has generated. How do you track the email address? Is that because are you using I want to use the term cookies, UTM codes, or something else to be able to track that? Somebody has to log in first and be recognized. Is that right? It's a bit technical, this question. How are you tracking?
It's a bit technical, yes. Like automatically Yeah, things like cookies and stuff.
But if a client, let me ask you
In a
this:
simpler
yeah,
way, you can also put a lead capture form there.
mm,
So maybe you have the property website, you don't display the financials, and if they want to see the financials, they just need to provide you
put
with
the
the email or
email,
something
and
like
they only
that.
need to do that. They only need to do that once, presumably. So if a
Yeah.
client, if you send a link to a client to a page, you know who they are, and they forward that to somebody else, that will, and then that person tries to click on it, will that trigger an alert inside your system that says, okay, we don't know who this is, give me your email address? Or can a third party just log in and see it from the link directly? Or is that
Yes.
customized?
Yes, it's customizable. It's customizable. For instance, when you are sharing a deal
Mm-hmm.
website, for instance, let me just go to here to show you.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Immediately in the basic settings, you can choose whether you want to do a link share. So this is going
Wow.
to be a link that anybody can access, or whether
Mm.
you want to do an NDA protected share, for instance, right? Meaning that they will be automatically prompted by the system to quickly sign an NDA of your liking. You can also customize that in the settings before they get shown the deal, right? In the NDA protected share, you can even go to a very restricted version of the share where you define a list of people that can actually access the deal. And nobody outside of that list is going to be able to view it, right? And then you can do partial NDA protection. So like just protect some sections of the deal. So maybe they
Mm.
can see photos and area overview, but they cannot see the rent roll. Or maybe you can just hide individual numbers from this, right? So I mean, sky's the limit. Depending on the use case, we can customize the way this works.
What's the learning curve for this platform, Anton? When somebody comes in to when they become proficient and don't really need support anymore.
Based on the data that we have from the pilots that
Mm.
we've been running, this is also copying sort of the baseline target versus the time that they're achieving after first week, second week. I think in 2 weeks, people or whoever is working with the platform, either the marketer or the agent or the investor, are pretty proficient on it. And of course, we're on an ongoing basis. We have UX researchers looking at what our users are doing, interviewing our users, and we're making the UX smoother, quicker, really minimizing the time to result on the platform, right? So right now for new users, we might be around 25 minutes. Just example numbers, okay? Don't take my word for it. And our goal is to within two months be below 10 minutes, for instance, right? So we're very proactively shaping the tool, improving the UX, so we get there to really provide a magical experience for everybody, right?
Okay, Anton. So I was able to trigger another really cool demo here by asking you how you track emails that you popped up. Is there anything else behind here that you find people like to use and do use that you've not described so far that we could have a look at? And if not, we can move on. But if there is anything that users like to access, please show me now. Is there anything? I mean, this email access is very cool, for example. Anything else?
Well, nothing I really want to stress out and emphasize
Okay,
right now. There's
fine.
other solutions we're working on,
Mm.
including solutions like Deal Finder. That is, once this is ready, it's going to be a revolutionary prospecting platform, basically sourcing you off-market deals, still serving you the best off-market deals on the silver platter automatically, things like that. But it's still under development, and I don't want to.
Okay,
I don't want
fine.
to
No,
come
no, no.
across
It's
as
I love the tease.
yeah.
What's your timeline on that, Anton? What do you think realistically for that?
I'd say Summertime, we might see
Okay, all right, exciting,
some
good.
official
That sounds
launch.
like
Yeah.
a demo day redux as soon as you get that done. All right, so let me ask you a couple of final questions now, if you don't mind. First of all, okay, so this is incredible, actually, to look at this. I mean, it's really mind blowing, and my mind is spinning on all kinds of ways to actually between you and me to market this for me. But why do people not use this product? I mean, it just seems like it's so extraordinary use of AI. What is it? Awareness? Is it tech skepticism? Is it AI skepticism? Is it skepticism about the quality of the results, or is it something else? What's the biggest challenge?
One of the reasons is, like budgeting, like larger companies, they budget for the whole year. They are using some legacy provider that they have a signed contract with, and they are usually willing to pilot this, and they're seeing some wins, but basically they need to align the full rollout for their whole company with ending the relationship with the previous legacy provider, for instance, right? So it takes, the larger the company, usually the harder it is to really migrate the whole company, to a new system. So this is one of the reasons.
Okay, so that of course brings up two questions. So typically, what is the scale of the company that is kind of the sweet spot for entry to IntellCRE?
Well, it depends on what you want to do. If you want a custom template and you want a completely custom deal marketing experience solution, the sweet spot are teams or companies with at least, 5 to 10 people and more, right? Because at that scale, it makes sense to do, a lot of this custom work. Yeah. But I mean, without the need of like completely custom, marketing outcomes, individuals or smaller teams are more than welcome.
Also using it.
Yeah.
Which of course brings us to pricing. So what's your pricing model or your revenue model? Pricing, I suppose, is the right question.
Yes, so it can be found on our website. It's around $250 per user per month. So
unlimited BOVs for $250 a month.
Unlimited everything, yes.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. Well, I can't think of anything else right now. I'm like mind blown. And what I'd like to do is actually to jump in and play around with it. I actually know a bank, I think, does a lot of BOVs. So I'm going to immediately email them and see if they'd like me to provide some. Actually, what do people usually pay for a BOV? Do you know? What do users usually pay? Or do they? Brokers usually provide them free, don't they? As a kind of entry? Or
brokers provide them for free to their clients, right? Because it's sort of what happens before the client decides to work with them, which is also like a lot of the times it's a dollar non-generating task for them to do this, and so imagine they're spending hours and days on this, and then to no avail. So the clients don't pay anything. The brokers, well, I mean, depending on whether they're outsourcing this or whether they have an in-house team or whether, they're building that themselves, it's either their time multiplied by the hours spent on that, or it's whatever the third party charges them for a BOV. We're seeing anything between, $800 to $3,000 per BOV when, outsourcing. Yeah.
Phenomenal. Anton, what an incredible platform you have. All right. So somebody listening and interested, what's the best way to reach out to you and to explore this in more detail with you and to give it a test drive and to see if it's something for them?
The best way would be to book a strategy call with us. So going to IntellCRE with double L.com and booking a time with me or with somebody from our team, and really going over like what the process currently is, what the workflows they have currently look like, where are the problems, where are the opportunities for improving the speed, the outcomes, whatever the goals are, and then really aligning on the best path forward, whether it's a pilot, whether it's a quicker pilot or maybe a longer pilot, depending on what the needs are, and taking it from there. So yeah, that's Intel double LCRE
IntellCRE.com. And then there's a couple of buttons, actually a few buttons here. We've got book a demo and free trial. So either of those will get them to the right place, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Anton Zajac, I hope I'm pronouncing your last name correctly, of Intel with 2LCRE.com. What a pleasure. Oh my goodness. I've been looking forward to this. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you.
Thanks, Adam.
All right, that was Anton Zajac. Anton, what a pleasure to see you again. What an incredible platform. You put a lot of work into this. I can't wait to see the evolution over the next few months. And phenomenal. Really appreciate your time. Thank you for joining me today. And thank you too, dear viewers and listeners. If you have not already done so, go ahead and connect with me on actually sign up or subscribe to my newsletter at gowercrowd.com. Click the link there and actually go to the podcast page and you'll be able to watch this directly. If you listen to it, just go to the podcast page for Anton Zajac at IntellCRE and you'll see the video there. You can go to YouTube. But while you are there, do subscribe to my newsletter. It's totally free. You can always unsubscribe and you will get immediate notice when these demo day shows go live. All right. If you want to stay ahead of the world of commercial real estate and get a competitive edge, you want to be doing that. Okay. All right. That's all I've got for you for this week's episode. Thanks so much for joining me. Until next time, it's Adam Gower signing off.